The Fox Virginia News at 10 is next. Tonight, a man is on the loose for a stolen firearm. It happened after breaking into a vehicle. The Charlottesville Police Department needs your help. We have that story. Plus, this man here is now arrested for shots inside a vehicle on Gordonsville Road. We've got the details straight ahead.
3, 2, 1.
And as you could hear, lots of excitement tonight with the 22nd annual lighting of the lawn. It happened on the Rotunda at UVA grounds, bringing in over 15,000 people. We'll tell you how it went and what took place. It's 10 o'clock, time for your Fox Virginia News.
Now, Fox Virginia News at 10.
Well, good Friday evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Alexia Williams. We'll get to all those stories in just a moment, but first, here's Travis with the Fastcast.
And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
Cloudy all day and something to actually show for it, though most places ended up with a quarter inch of rain or less. It's better than nothing. Nothing in comparison, though, to the soaker we had early last week. Rain pretty much gone. A lot of low clouds, though, in some areas, a little foggy, but I think that'll change here in a matter of hours. As far as temperatures go, we've actually been holding steady since early afternoon. 48 degrees right now in Charlottesville, 44 in Madison, 45 in Scottsville, Lake Monticello, and 49 degrees in Harrisonburg. And I really think temperatures are going to hold fairly steady, if maybe fall 1 or 2 degrees overnight. Your skies staying mostly cloudy. Some of those higher elevations may hang on to some fog in areas of lower visibility. Then for Saturday, despite cloud cover all day, it's going to be mild, a high of 64 degrees, but later in the afternoon, right around sunset, the band of showers will move through. Most of daylight hours, though, dry for outdoor stuff. Talk about how much rain will fall on Saturday and what's ahead for Sunday in just a couple minutes.
All right, thank you, Travis. Well, Charlottesville police, they're looking for a man in connection with a stolen gun. Police say that the suspect broke into a vehicle in a parking garage near ACAC downtown. There's a photo of him right there on your screen around 7:30 a.m. on November 10th. The man took a gun along with other documents from the car. He is believed to be between 5'6" and 5'10" and weighs between 160 and 180 pounds. He also has gray and black hair. If you have any information, you are urged to call police. Albemarle County Police announcing an arrest after shots were fired inside of a vehicle. Police say that the incident happened Wednesday night on Gordonsville Road. There were no injuries. 45-year-old Anthony Wayne Martin, who you see on your screen, is facing multiple gun charges. He's currently being held at the Central Virginia Regional Jail on other related charges in Louisa County. Well, roughly 15,000 people filled the grounds by the Rotunda at the 22nd annual lighting of the lawn tonight. Our Fox Virginia's Sarah Allen joins us now at the Plasma with more details. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Alexia. The yearly tradition started back in 2001 as a way to bring the community together after the tragic attacks on September 11th.
3, 2, 1.
Now today, the tradition lives on with its mission to be an outlet for the community and enjoy each other's company under the lights.
It's since kind of taken on a life of its own now. It's gotten exponentially bigger, but at its core, it still really serves to unite the community and just bring everyone together for a night of joy and fun.
The student council committees began the planning for the illumination event back in the spring and raised over $80,000 to fund this year's Discglow event.
So we tried to do something a little bit different because we ran out of light puns to do this year. But we wanted to actually have a theme that people could dress up to and really interact with the actual event a little bit more.
Now, one aspect of the show that hasn't changed this year is the illuminated 1, 15, and 41 on the right side of the rotunda in honor of the 3 football players that were killed in a tragic shooting last year. Now, when I spoke with Riley and Francis, they told me that they had to set up and replace an estimated 11,000 lights, which continues to grow year after year. But their goal was just to give the people what they want, a longer and more extravagant light show. In the studio, Sarah Allen, Fox Virginia News.
All right, Sarah, thank you for that report. Well, the 26th annual Charlottesville Grand Illumination took place tonight on the downtown mall. Hundreds of people packed the Ting Pavilion, listening to live music, visiting vendors, and of course, watching the Christmas tree light up like you just saw right there. This year's Christmas tree is lovingly named Spruce Willis. In the past 3 weeks, most of central Virginia has been under a burn ban, but could the rain that we saw today be enough to help it? Well, Albemarle County has been under a ban for 2 weeks now because of dry weather conditions. Sean Maddox, the captain and assistant fire marshal of Albemarle County, tells Fox Virginia News that this area is considered a lowest risk, which is level 1, because of little moisture, cool temperatures, and light winds. He also wants to remind you that burn bans restrict all open air burning.
Burn ban restricts all open air fires. So this pertains to campfires, your fire pit, your solo type stove, open air burning to get rid of your leaves or sticks, or cleaning up from property development, or even commercial burning if they were clearing for development or something. All of that's restricted.
He goes on to say that people can use propane grills but should not use them on flammable surfaces. He says that a lot of these small wildfires that we've seen are human caused, so officials are urging people to properly dispose of wood stove ashes. Tiger Fuel donating $6,000 to the Albemarle Housing Improvement Program, or AHIP, this morning. AHIP gives emergency home repairs, home rehabs, and energy efficiency upgrades to families in Charlottesville and Albemarle County. The donation was part of the market's first ever season of giving campaign, and all of their locations helped be a part of it and participate. The center at Belvedere invited a UVA doctor to speak to a small gathering about the importance of World AIDS Day. According to Dr. Kathleen McManus, there have been huge advancements in both care and prevention. With the goal of highlighting advancements, she described the current epidemiology of HIV in the United States and the country's efforts to end the HIV epidemic.
It's a time to reflect on what have we lost from HIV/AIDS, where are we now, and where do we want to go in the future.
Now, according to the CDC, an estimated 1.2 million people in the United States had HIV at the end of 2021. And the Virginia Department of Health says that as of 2018, about 25,000 Virginians were living with HIV. As you spend time with older relatives during the holidays, it may be difficult to know when someone is sick or if it's just a sign of aging. A generation at UVA Health says to watch for certain behaviors of how they're moving. Have they fallen lately? Are they managing medications properly? How are they keeping track of their home and daily duties? According to one doctor, forgetfulness comes with age, and it's different than just memory problems.
Being able to recall things in our daily life, being able to take care of ourselves on a day-to-day basis. If we're, getting lost while we're driving, when we're going around places that are familiar, that can be a concerning sign. If we're, not able to keep food in the fridge that's supposed to be in the fridge.
She says to be observant, but don't make any assumptions. And if you think something's wrong, approach the conversation casually. Maintain your loved one's anonymity and dignity when having uncomfortable or upsetting talks. Retired Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, the first woman to serve on the nation's highest court, died today. She was 93 years old. Fox Virginia spoke with the UVA Center for Politics about her impact at UVA law and the award that she received there. O'Connor died in Phoenix of complications related to advanced dementia and respiratory illness. Now, the Supreme Court said that in a news release today, but she leaves behind a very important legacy. She was appointed to the Supreme Court back in 1981 by President Ronald Reagan. Under her unanimous confirmation by the Senate, she became the first ever female justice to serve in the court's system in the 191 years that the court's been alive and well. Now, given Reagan's traditional conservative ideals and her more moderate stances on issues, Kyle Kondrick with the UVA Center for Politics said that it was a surprising appointment at that time.
She was not some sort of major figure. And I think that when conservatives have looked at the court over the last few decades, one of the things that a lot of conservatives didn't like was that there were a number of appointments by Republicans that did not end up being, strongly ideologically conservative justices. And so part of the conservative legal network and this vetting of potential Supreme Court nominees is in part in response to appointments like O'Connor that didn't necessarily work out quite the way that I think a lot of conservatives hoped.
Justice O'Connor visited UVA to receive the Thomas Jefferson Foundation Medal in Law in 1987. The medals are presented by UVA and the Thomas Jefferson Foundation, the nonprofit that owns and operates Monticello. In the university's highest honor given to people outside of the UVA community. She was also a friend, a mentor, and a boss to UVA law professors. What a legacy she left behind. In the state capitol, Santa's helpers were back at work at Richmond's Community Tool Bank collecting bicycles for children in the area through a partnership with the Richmond Henrico Health District and Jewish Family Services. 24 bikes were assembled at the tool bank and will be ready for children in Fairfield Court come Christmas time. JFS donors made the special Christmas gifts possible, and Brian Hooten, a health district spokesperson, said that it will have a big impact on those kids.
For a lot of those kids, it means a new way to play, a new way to get around, a new way to get some exercise, and we even hear stories about kids riding their bikes to school or, riding their bikes inside the house, hopefully slowly and safely.
And the bikes will be distributed to families who have already registered. What a great Christmas gift right there. Doctors are concerned for COVID, RSV, and flu because they're all on the rise. Coming up, we'll tell you the health threat that the CDC is saying to watch out for. That's coming up after your Weather Authority forecast with Travis.
Today's rain now out of the area, but there's more coming this weekend. A washout or no? We'll answer that question. Talk about rain chances next week, too, right after this.
And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
Thank you for joining Alexia and I on the Fox Virginia News. It's in on this Friday night. Beautiful sunrise in Madison this morning. That was about all the sunshine we had, because once we got to the afternoon, it was all about the showers, and I say that as a very good thing. It wasn't a lot of rain, as most everybody clocked in with about a quarter inch or less, but still, it's better than nothing, and we actually had enough area wide to put some in the rain gauges around the area. That rain gone, showers to our west fizzling out, still some very low clouds in some spots. Visibility could be down if you're doing any driving overnight or even early tomorrow morning, and temperatures have actually gone up a few degrees in the last several hours. 47 degrees outside our Railroad studio. We're also at 47 in downtown Charlottesville, 48 for Cho, and 48 degrees for Carter Mountain. Winds not really that blustery. Rainfall totals again on the order of 1 to 2/10 of an inch of rain area wide. Decent little car wash, if you will. Elsewhere, 53 at Hot Springs, much warmer elevation right now. Charleston, West Virginia also at 53, 51 for Richmond, but still hanging on to lower 60s in Tidewater compared to 37 degrees in Winchester right now with temperatures locally. In some spots, a lot warmer than this time yesterday. So the low pressure system pretty much gone, but this is going to hang around for a good chunk of the weekend. It's going to bring a couple more little disturbances through. So what does it mean? It means both Saturday and Sunday are going to be fairly cloudy. If you're hoping for sunshine this weekend, there just won't be a lot of it. As far as Saturday goes, most of the daylight hours will be dry. It'll be around 4 or 5 o'clock or so that we introduce some rain to the area. I think it's going to sweep across the entire area. So I like to say at the amusement parks, you will get wet on this ride, but not until later in the day. Despite the cloud cover, the temperatures in the lower to middle 60s for much of the afternoon. Futurecast, let's break it down for you. Watch the last few frames here. Comes the rain from the south and pushes to the north and east. So again, everyone gets a little bit of something on Saturday. Then for Sunday, another cloudy day, another mild day with temperatures returning to the 60s, and then later in the afternoon, some more showers, but those will be more the hit and miss variety. I think we have a better chance of showers on Saturday than we do on Sunday. Late Sunday evening, we commence clearing of the sky, a slow process through Monday, and then Tuesday we're mostly sunny, but while we increase the amount of sunshine, our temperatures don't get warmer, they get cooler. Steady temperatures tonight, mostly cloudy, a little fog, lower to middle 40s. Saturday, Few afternoon and evening showers, a high of 64 in Charlottesville. If you're still going to do stuff outdoors tomorrow, you'll be all right until about 4 p.m. Cardinal Home Center extended forecast. 54 degrees on Tuesday, 50s for a good chunk of next week. Still not overly confident we get a huge soaker on Wednesday afternoon. It'll just be a couple showers, if anything at all, and then a breezy Thursday will follow, and then temperatures in the mid-50s rather on Friday.
Well, although I'm not super hopeful because I see the 30 right there, I am looking forward to those 60s finally and getting a little bit warmer feeling, at least for a short period of time, right?
Do remember we are now in December.
I know, but just
I
kind
hate
of
to
like
burst
humor
your
me a
bubble.
little, right? Come on.
And I just got to tell you this, sorry.
Gosh, well, we're not in January yet. In the past couple of days, it's felt like
This is true.
more like January, as we've talked about. So this is more seasonal, correct?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's
Lower
at
middle
least something.
50s, par for the course.
Yeah, something I can look forward to and at least smile about.
And there
right?
you go. Now we got
There
something to
you
make you
go.
happy.
Some
You're happy,
sunshine in
everyone's
my
happy.
forecast, right? There you go. Thank you, Travis.
Sure.
Across the nation now, health officials are sounding the alarm on the increase in respiratory illnesses all across the country, with COVID, RSV, and flu cases all on the rise. Jen Sullivan reports on what the CDC is saying about the health threat.
Respiratory illnesses are on the rise across the country, and health officials are concerned.
RSV season is in full swing.
While COVID cases are nowhere near the winter surge we've seen in previous years, the numbers are going up. And cases typically spike during the holiday season, which is exactly what happened last year.
COVID is still the primary cause of new respiratory hospitalizations and deaths.
The CDC says every week 1,000 people are still dying from COVID and 15,000 are hospitalized. And respiratory virus cases in children are rising, with RSV being the key driver of hospitalizations for this group.
It's one thing to see a rise in these types of infections, particularly in school-aged children, but also to monitor the severity.
The number of cases is putting a strain on some pediatric hospitals. The CDC says 70% of beds in children's hospitals are being used. Capacity hasn't been this strained since mid-December last year. But respiratory illness is not just impacting the U.S.
We are seeing, in general, an increase in respiratory infections around the world.
Northern China and Beijing are seeing a surge in children with respiratory illnesses. The CDC and World Health Organization are monitoring the situation closely.
We're following up through our clinical networks and working with clinicians in China to better understand resistance to antibiotics.
The good news is that it doesn't seem to be a new pathogen causing the spike in cases. Health officials warn the best protection against respiratory illness is for everyone to get vaccinated. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
It seems that the third time wasn't the charm for embattled lawmaker George Santos, the New York Republican being expelled from his position with a vote of 311 to 114 today. Santos is accused of lying about his background to get elected and using his campaign funds for personal use. New Yorkers who lived inside the former congressman's district are reacting to the news of his ousting. Take a listen.
I'm really happy that this happened. They did an amazing job. Good job, Congress. You finally did something right. And we're really excited because he really did wrong things. He used our money and other people's money that he used for his fundraisers to do bad things. And I'm really happy that he's out.
Now, with his expulsion on Friday today, he becomes the 6th member in the history of the chamber to be ousted by his colleagues and only the 3rd one since the Civil War.
You're watching Fox Virginia News at 10. Thanks to you, the #1 rated 10 p.m. newscast in Central Virginia.
Well, welcome back. We're coming up on that 10:30 half hour. I'm Ashley Brooks, and you're watching the Fox Virginia News at 10. Let's go ahead and check in on your forecast with our chief meteorologist, Travis Koshko.
And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
Ashley, so many times I say, well, if it's going to be this cloudy, why isn't it just rain? Well, today, that's exactly what happened, and we had showers scattered about for much of the afternoon. Rainfall totals weren't all that great, but still, considering how dry it is, we'll take anything we can get. Rainfall totals, roughly 1/10 of an inch for most of Central Virginia. Saw a report of about 1/4 inch down around Piney River on the Nelson-Amherst County line. Beckley, West Virginia, about a 1/4 inch in some like Farmville and Emporia. Just enough to tick a 1/100th of an inch in the official measurements in the record books. Official high today? Well, how about that? Nothing showing up in the graphic. Last temperature I saw, though, is 49 degrees because that's kind of our current temperature right now. Our temperatures have been going up since early this morning. And as far as tomorrow goes, it'll be a fairly cloudy day. 64-year high. I think after 4 p.m. we open the opportunity of showers once again. And I think everyone's going to get a little something tomorrow, though. Again, it's probably going to be just a few hundredths of an inch at best. Sunday, a couple more showers. Talk about that. Talk about next week's temperature dip in just a few minutes, too.
Sounds good, Travis. Thank you. A Santa Claus in Westchester Commons, Virginia, gives every child who visits him a special gift for Christmas. Desiree Montia has the story.
Inside the North Pole, the Westchester Commons Santa greets children across Chesterfield with their first gift for Christmas.
Their very own sleigh bell. And I tell every child to put this on your Christmas tree, and when Santa comes on Christmas Eve, you'll remember what your wish was.
During one of those visits,
I had a beautiful little girl come in here last year, and she's like, Santa, where is your sleigh? And it's like, well, sweetie, it's not here right now. She's, well, I'd like to see your sleigh.
In that moment, Santa made a promise to bring his sleigh this Christmas, a wish coming to life, not delivered by Amazon, but by the helping hands of his elves.
Santa knows some fellows that are in a model train club, and they are master woodworkers. Santa doesn't want to disappoint the children, so we got to work first thing in January building this sleigh.
A ride built for dashing through the snow with all the bells and whistles.
Sleighs fly, so you've got to have navigation lights. There's the rotating light on the bottom. When Santa's overloaded, sometimes we need to have a little bit extra boost. And Santa's got a rocket booster on the back. Santa's got a license plate, because sometimes we're on the road and we don't want to get in trouble with the law.
A sleigh built from scratch, now spreading Christmas cheer to kids of all ages, making sure they can drop off their letters and wishes.
To see the joy and surprise on parents' faces when some of the things the children ask for. Sometimes the children test the limits of what they ask for at Christmas time.
And talk to St. Nick himself. An experience Santa hopes they'll remember for a lifetime.
Just to be here for the children and see how they react when they see Santa Claus.
It's always more special through children's eyes. That was a great story. That was Desiree Matia reporting. Well, Hamas violated the deal upon terms with Israel, leaving the war between Israel and Hamas to resume. We've got the latest update. Stay with us. Welcome back. The war between Israel and Hamas resumed after U.S. officials said that Hamas violated the agreed upon terms with Israel. The temporary ceasefire, which facilitated several hostage for prisoner swaps, is now over. Fox News correspondent Nate Foy has the latest.
The sounds and sights of war are back in Gaza and Israel.
Hamas feels the power of our strikes. They only respond to force.
With more than 130 Israeli hostages still in Gaza, Hamas refuses to release the remaining women. Shortly after leaving Israel this morning, Secretary of State Antony Blinken disputed Hamas's claim that Israel violated the ceasefire agreement first.
It came to an end because of Hamas.
The IDF says it hit more than 200 Hamas targets in Gaza, including in the southern city of Han Yunis, where leaflets warn Palestinians to move to evacuation zones. Many did not. The cost to property and life is severe. Today, Hamas fired rockets at southern and central Israel and missiles at Tel Aviv, while Hezbollah terrorists resumed attacks from the north. But Israel's Iron Dome is strong. Israel later struck a terrorist cell in Lebanon, where it says attacks originate, putting homes like these and the people who live here at risk. You see the damage to that home here after it was hit by a rocket fired by Hezbollah terrorists in Lebanon, the border just 100 yards away from this kibbutz, where residents have been evacuated because of the threat. And these homes will stay empty until the threat from the north is dealt with.
In order to allow the citizens here to come back, we have to have clear indications from our enemy, from Lebanon, from Hezbollah, that there's no intention of attacking the people here.
Those attacks continue tonight, with Hezbollah terrorists launching another round of rockets across the border into Israel, and Israel responding by targeting those positions with artillery. The United States, Egypt, and Qatar are now working to negotiate another pause in the fighting. But for now, the war carries on. In northern Israel, Nate Foy, Fox News.
Sounds good, Travis. Thank you. Our health check now. It's World AIDS Day, a time to raise awareness and destigmatize a disease that still disproportionately affects racial and ethnic minorities, as well as those who are gay or bisexual. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on why health experts say that testing is critical and the advancements that have been made in the prevention and treatment of this disease.
In the U.S., approximately 1.2 million people have HIV, and about 13% of them don't know it.
They may not become aware of it until later on, at a point when the disease has progressed and they actually get sick.
Dr. Carlos Malvis-Tudo with the Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center says because of advancements in treatment, those who have HIV can expect to have about the same life expectancy as everyone else. But he says there's still work to be done.
We need to make sure that people know their own status, that testing for HIV is widely available.
The CDC recommends everyone between the ages of 13 and 64 get tested for HIV at least once as part of their routine health care. But Malvis-Tudo says the stigma around this disease may prevent people from doing that.
Even though there is more knowledge about HIV, there's still a lot of ignorance about it.
There are medications that can help prevent an infection, but Malvis-Tudo says many people aren't aware of them. There are also treatments that can help stop the spread.
Somebody who is living with HIV and is virally suppressed, so they're taking their medication, their virus is completely controlled, then they have zero risk of transmitting the virus to a sexual partner.
Malvis-Tudo says addressing disparities in testing and access to care is critical.
Because we could have a cure today, but if we can't get it to the people that need it, then it's pointless.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Some organizations and officials in Florida joined forces to bring hope and joy to children battling cancer. Mystic Force Foundation teamed up with the Broward County Sheriff's Office and other community organizations for this event at Joe DiMaggio's Children's Hospital and Sela Foundation Children's Hospital in Fort Lauderdale. The honorary parade not only brings awareness to the deadly disease, but also honors those young lives that have been lost in the fight against it. Police vehicles drove around with gold ribbons and superheroes to remind the kids and their families that they're not alone. Hollywood Nation now, a major award show moves up its start time. A jury duty star makes a deal and more. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin has more on your Hollywood Nation.
Let's get to work. Vergara shows her dark side. Gladden inks a deal and the Oscars switch it up in the Hollywood Nation. The upcoming Academy Awards will start an hour earlier. ABC announced the 96th annual ceremony will kick off at 7 p.m. Eastern instead of its usual time slot of 8 p.m. Eastern. Jimmy Kimmel returns to host the show, airing live from the Los Angeles Dolby Theater March 10th.
When they say jury of your peers, I think that's accurate.
Jury duty breakout star Ronald Gladden expands his Hollywood resume. The Oregon solar contractor rose to fame as an unsuspecting juror on the Emmy-nominated Freevee comedy series. Now he will produce, develop, and star in more projects for Amazon MGM Studios as part of a 2-year deal. Eli Roth is bringing John Carver back for another murderous Thanksgiving feast. The filmmaker announced on social media a sequel to the holiday-themed slasher is in the works. It will be released sometime in 2025.
One woman is behind all this.
And Sofia Vergara is a ruthless Colombian queenpin in the official trailer to Griselda. The Modern Family star takes a serious turn in the Netflix limited series, playing murderous drug lord Griselda Blanco, who became the first woman billionaire in the cartel business. The show starts streaming January 25th. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Well, actress Uzo Aduba has given birth to a baby girl. Aduba, known for her role in the series Orange is the New Black, took to Instagram on Thursday to make her announcement. She wrote in the social media post, quote, "My daughter, I've never been in love so quickly, so deeply in my entire life. I really don't know what to say, guys. My heart is full," end quote. Aduba shares her daughter with her husband, Robert. The first time mom also said in her Instagram post, quote, "Motherhood, I've joined the club. I hear the dues are high, but membership is completely worth it." I agree. Well, we got some rain in the forecast, Travis.
Yep, scattered showers Saturday afternoon, maybe a few later on Sunday. I do think Saturday has potential to see a little more rain than any other day in the 7-day. We're dry for Monday and Tuesday, a few showers Wednesday afternoon. Breezy and cool down to 50 on Thursday, a little more December-like, if you will, but then a slight warm-up will follow for next Friday and possibly next weekend.
Yeah, so it says a few showers. We're probably not going to get too much then. That's not
1/10 of an inch.
Yeah.
And not all-day deal either.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you for that, Travis. And thank you all so much for watching your Fox Virginia News at 10. We'll see you back here next week.